buddy all the time.
Oh, he used to call him her buddy, right?
You still have his books? Because he shows me you looking through his books. So please know that when you're going through the books of his soul is with you.
Bobby was 7.5 months old when he passed. The moment he was born, it was the happiest moment of my life. And I felt like that was the purpose, that I was here. And every day just gave to him. And when he passed away, you know, I felt like I died too.
Well, what happened with the head? But then I feel like I'm stuck.
His stroller was up against the bed, and he got stuck.
Okay, so that's why I felt like I was stuck.
I had put him down for a nap. When I went to go check on him, he was in the stroller. He was hanging from the stroller with his head. His neck was caught, and he was already gone. You know, I just suffer every day, and it's just a battle. I think of him every single day.
He says, I need you to know that even if you were there, he would not have survived. He says, you need to stop blaming yourself. It was a crazy accident.
It's Pamela Earlin here. In light of our theme of the month, October Origins, we are discussing and sharing light languages that we are learning and that we know fluently. For many of you who are curious about many of the languages that I speak, my fluent ones are Haitian, which is a version of Illyrian feline being, and Pleiadian and Andromedan. I am learning many more along the way, and I can recognize them as I hear them. So feel free, to post your examples and, get a take on what it is that you're actually speaking, what ancient language you're actually speaking. But many of you have asked for more examples from me, and I urge you to share your examples as well. But I've been asked for more examples of different languages, and one that not a lot of us speak and that not a lot of us discuss is the ancient Anunnaki language, the oldest, ancient Anunnaki language. So I would like to give my version of what the Anunnaki language sounds like from my perspective and give you an Anunnaki harvest blessing. And I'm just going to be going into it from a blessing that I wrote down earlier today. It looks a little unusual, and there's a lot of languages that look that way that don't really translate to English very well. And then I'm going to go into as much of the blessing as possible and just let you know what it sounds like. So this is an interpretation of Anunnaki. Here we go. Gush kita karak de sina na datatata tana de shluit karik so kataratai annono kalrish karak Krishka ta radada raton harakboik gashtoka Shinigo tadidish klika karadada kalababa kanono anara hush mate amasta karidika gush anadata ratala.
Favorite Barbara Marciniak. This is called Limited Video in as 2 stars, the Pleiadians, Barbara Marciniak. What the heck? This is amazing. Because Barbara Marciniak is really clear on the fact that she wants all the credit and all the money for anything she does, and she feels like anybody who takes her stuff is stealing, and she threatens lawsuits and all this bullshit, which I don't think, that's the part of her that I don't like. She should be thrilled that her message is being out there. If she sincerely wants to help humanity, then she should be thrilled that it's getting sent around for free, and she should be grateful, and she should be considering that her gift, and then she should be putting her money where her mouth is and following her own advice and creating abundance based on her own ability to be generous and give, and for her character to for the Pleiadians to even bother talking about lawsuits is it's like, really, Is that what the Pleiadians would say? I'm gonna sue you if you steal my material? You if you steal my material? What the hell? And then to get off the internet? The reason that anybody knows about her at all in this world is because of the internet. She would not be as well known as she is now. 48,000 people watched this video that was put on November 9th, 2016. That's 2 weeks ago. 48,000 views. That means people are watching this. This is good. This is great news. This means this is way more views than I have. I can't believe it. I thought it would be like 5,000.
Good afternoon once again. Already your horizons have expanded, and in general you are feeling, let's say, a little confused, some of you, and uncertain. That's all right. It's not an easy process to integrate all this information at once, especially here in the hot plate of Sedona. And we were going to advise you right now to use your dream state this evening to integrate what has occurred. Also a tremendous pleasure and comfort to be in our spot at in Sedona at Seven Centers Yoga, and we are familiar with this territory. It is a portal and a building, a location, a place on earth that offers opportunity to grow, to be safe, and to expand your consciousness. Elevate the human experience, restore dignity, and get smarter, become more psychic. Embrace the idea you are all different and you have different capabilities. Everyone incarnates for a reason. Some of you have been trapped in lifetimes of struggle, and you want to hold on to it in this lifetime. This is an opportunity to liberate yourselves, as Che said, to experience or to go beyond your horizons. Yes. Nanoseconds, the opportunity for an acceleration, the opportunity for massive incarnation and for advancement. They don't come around every few thousand years or every great year, a great year being every 26,000 years approximately. You are incarnated on Earth in a rarity of time. We are a collective of energies across the lines of time, from the future, from your point of view. Pleiadians, we call ourselves. Yet we are a large collective that comes and goes and interacts with you, and we have taught others who care how to communicate and deal with humankind. Guiding you to be here this weekend, but what's guiding you to make all of your decisions? And you must always go back to, what do I want? My thoughts create. And if you cannot think of what you want in the big distance, in the immediate moment, you want to be clear thinking, you want to be safe, you want to be harmonious and in balance, and you want to attract the support and the abundance of the multiverse, so-called wormwood, which is also in Russia, Chernobyl. Is it sinking in? Yes?
Yes.
The Anunnaki, at least according to their records, claim that gold was found on Earth by a deposed emperor that Anu fought for control over, and Anu won, and this man, Alalu, this being, Alalu, was banished from Nibiru. He took missiles, and he left Nibiru, and he came through the asteroid belt, or they called it the hammered bracelet, and he nuked his way through it. This is the key to understanding what's going on in the world today. The Anunnaki, Alalu, brought nuclear weapons to Earth.
Hey everybody, Rex Bear here with Leak Project. I'd like to thank you very much for joining us this edition. We have Michael Heiser, a scholar in the fields of biblical studies and the ancient Near East. He is also the scholar in residence at Logos Bible Software. He earned an MA and PhD in Hebrew Bible and Semitic language at the University of Wisconsin-Madison back in 2004. He's also earned an MA in Ancient History from the University of Pennsylvania and major fields Ancient Israel and Egyptology. Mike can do translation work in roughly a dozen ancient languages, among them Biblical Hebrew, Greek, Aramaic, Egyptian, hieroglyphs, Ugaritic, cuneiform. His academic specializations include Israelite religion, especially Israel's. You've studied these languages, you've actually done your homework, spent the time and money to learn this and get this education, and a lot of people say they can do it, but they just reading something off the internet and saying, wow, this is a 12-foot reptilian shapeshifter that eats people and it has laser beams that comes out of its eyeballs, and it can also turn into this gigantic artificial intelligent transformer.
Optimus Prime.
Yeah, Optimus Prime is awesome, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, I like the movies too,
Right. For somebody that has a real down-to-earth approach and has done the research into these specific texts of the Bible, how would you debunk and say this is, without a shadow of a doubt, this is not an extraterrestrial conehead?
Well, there's about 5 or 6 different things, in that question. I mean, I personally am not offended at all by the thought that there could be extraterrestrial life. I don't see any theological problem with it, intelligent extraterrestrial life. So to me, and I'm not, this isn't unusual in the field of ufology, but there are a lot of ufologists out there, and I'm not a ufologist by trade or anything like that. I wound up being named by Fate magazine one of the 100 most influential people in ufology, but I'm not quite sure how that happened. But I can tell you, I know enough that within the field, there are a lot of people who make a pretty hard and fast distinction between the subject of UFOs and the question of intelligent extraterrestrial life, and even the question of extraterrestrial visitation. They distinguish that from the ancient alien stuff. And I'm one of those, because I think the ancient alien stuff is blather, it's nonsense. But I think the issue of could there be intelligent extraterrestrial life, that I think is a serious question. It'd be so cool if that were the case. Again, I don't have any theological problem with it at all. But my objection is the cartoonish nonsense that gets passed off as ancient alien stuff. And look, you don't have to go to grad school and get a PhD to debunk this stuff. It's actually easy. Let me give you a couple of examples. Okay, we've all seen these pictures on the internet of the Anunnaki beings. They have these like little clay figurines that kind of look like they have lizard faces and whatnot. Well, let's just ask a few intelligent questions. 1, how do you know it's an Anunnaki being? Is there any writing on the object? Answer, no. These are figures known from a layer in Mesopotamian archaeology called the Ubaid culture. Guess what? It's prehistoric. There is no writing on any of these objects. Let me repeat that. There's no writing on a single one of them. 0. Okay, second question. Well, were they found with other objects that have writing? Answer, no. Well, how do we know then what it is and what it was for? Answer, we don't. But yet you have ancient alien theorists that erect an entire story of a civilization on these objects. You know what that's called? That's called making stuff up.